This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. There's only one slot left for Masters Bangkok, and it's up for grabs today. Let's find out which team joins G2 at the first global event of the year. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 11 of VCT Americas Kickoff. It's the lower bracket final, and of course, as always, we're coming at you live from the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles, California. And what the hell is going on? Did you guys get Apple boxes?
No.
We just have big, short, bald energy.
Or did you just naturally get taller overnight and I didn't notice it?
It grows like the hair on my head.
You didn't get a memo? You didn't get a torture rack memo?
I can't grow. I can't grow.
Torture rack memo.
You're getting stretched out like taffy. Is that because you cast it with Ender?
Exactly. No, Ender just left his box here. He's not actually that tall.
Yeah,
big.
fun fact.
It's all a lie.
Ender really isn't that tall.
Right, you want another one?
Well, you want to stack them up? Dude, this is going to be a
feel like
workplace hazard.
That's a fire
No,
hazard.
that's how tall you
Dude,
are.
And now the camera is just on his crotch. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and do this. Now,
World's tallest man visits Cuba, 2016.
here's the bracket. This is the competition that we did. You wouldn't know based on the conversation we had on the desk
We're
just
very
now.
serious
But,
people.
yeah, we're very good at our jobs. We have one match remaining. And this matchup, well, one match remaining for Masters Bangkok, because this matchup determines who qualifies for the big event in Thailand. Only 2 slots are available for the Americas region. So you already got G2 locked in. Now it's time to see whether or not it's Sentinels or MIBR. Now, yesterday,
Lock in, brother.
yesterday's matches also gave us the Pulsar Flick of the Week. Bren, why don't you tell everyone what's this week's Pulsar Flick of the Week?
Dude, this was an insane play. Push past the Cosmic Divide, little flick of the wrist, little micro adjustment.
Honestly,
only a few seconds to make the move.
He flicks his body more than he flicks his mouse. This is a nasty play. Honestly, though,
nice.
despite everything, you look at the scoreboard, they were 6-0 down at this point. They needed another 92 Pulsar Flick of the Week to be able to win that game. Like they were not close to winning there.
That was unfortunate. But you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and talk about all the stuff that we saw yesterday, what's going to be coming up today. And before we dive into our first matchup, we're actually going to do something a little fun, all right? We like doing some fun stuff. You guys like fun stuff?
Yeah, I like fun.
Let's do this. Come over here, because it's the blind rankings. Now, fun fact, we left Mimi over there because she's not allowed to play with us.
I like fun stuff too.
No, you stay over there.
Mimi, I like fun.
No, you stay right there, okay?
Are we supposed to have blindfolds for this?
No, I'm not too sure. No, let's see.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's blind because you don't know what's coming up here. Here's how it works, all right? We have 10 slots, as you can see here, right here. I'm Vanna White, this thing, if you know who that is. Now, one at a time, I'm going to get a new player, and I'm going to put them on this chart. They have no idea the players that are come up, right? Once we place a person on this chart, they can't be moved.
So it's random players that come up. We have to place them.
But that's easy.
But we don't know who the 10 players
It's
are.
random.
That means
It's
easy.
How about
That's
let's start with the first one. The first one is Digizine. Where would you put Digizine?
Digizine's been awesome.
I've messed with Digizine.
He's not a top 5 player in the league, though. Not at the moment, but he's around there. What do you want to go? 5th, 6th, something like that? There's going to be better players.
Dude, I'll put him at 4th, low key.
4th?
Go for it.
You're just going with it?
All right.
Yeah, you can have that.
Digizine, number 4.
We don't know who's coming up next.
Locked
Yeah, we don't.
It might be the
Locked
2G coming up next.
Locked in. Next up, Kesnet.
Kesnet, honestly, hasn't been as good as Digizine so
Yeah,
far.
he really hasn't.
He was good, but he wasn't the main reason that crew were winning.
6?
Bit lower. 7.
7?
7? Okay.
7.
All right.
7 it is. All right, cool. And let me do this because of my ADD real fast. There we go. All right.
Yeah, we're not a cool kid.
All right.
Yeah,
Here we go. Next one, Mata.
Mata's been
Mata's been good.
Mata's been better than
Block
Digizine.
graphic.
3?
3.
3?
All right, number 3, it's Mata. Next up, it's Sam.
Oh, Som's been really good as
Tom
well.
has also been
He's
good.
been better than Kesnet. He's got to go 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5?
Not gonna lie, y'all losing space over here, right?
Yeah, I know
I'm
we
saving
are.
at 1 and 2 just in case Aspas crops up. I need to put out my personal apology as well.
Throw him in the number 5.
All right, number 5 spot. There you go for Sam. Next up, Zekken. Number 10.
Dude, that's a hard one, man.
Dude, Zekken's been good, but he hasn't been like lighting the world on
Problem
fire.
is that he's still in the competition, and you put Mata and DigiZ.
Bro, nah,
Dude, but they were frying.
that's actually messed up. Nah, that's messed up.
I think he has to go in 6. I think we're going to get 2 better players than Zekken so far, like from what they've done in Kickoff.
Yeah, bro, because like Jorg and
Jorgen, like any of G2
Jorgen
and
has to
Aspas,
six.
So
he has
six.
to go in 6.
No, but that's messed up. He can't be
has to.
6. But he shouldn't be in 6.
But he has to.
But
These are the rules that you did.
I'm seeing you move the faces,
You
GB.
did
You
this
can
thing.
move the faces.
No,
you have the
I
power
can't
to
move
the
anything.
faces.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Aspas and G2 are not in here.
King.
Oh, dude, King's been good. King's been good, but he can't go
We
1
need
or
to
2.
save space. Put him in 10.
He can't go
remember.
one or
Put him in
2.
10. We need to save space.
Okay,
Put him in
10.
10.
Wow, next up, Leaf.
Leaf? Dude, Leaf's been good.
He's better than Aspas.
He's
He's
number
been
one.
good. Better than Aspas?
He's
Better
number-
than Aspas,
he's
number
number
1.
one to me.
This guy's crazy.
I actually agree with him.
What?
Better than Aspas.
I mean, he's a smart player, but better than Aspas?
Yes. Number 1. Throw
There
in
it is, number 1.
Bro, you're insane.
Melzer.
Melzer?
We got 3 slots left.
9.
9.
Okay.
He was good for one of the games he farmed.
Next up,
Aspas, number 2.
Number
That's
2.
why we
That's
say
disrespectful.
baby. That's why we say
And the last
spot.
one, oh my Trent, in
8.
number 8.
Okay, kind of doing Trent a bit dirty, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
doing
are.
Trent dirty,
But
which
you have no other choice.
I think this.
Also, Lee, how did
How
Lee
does
end up
get
over here?
Oh, I don't know, but honestly, I think that works. Anyway, let's go. Let me put this back. Oh, you stay your ass right there. All right, so let's
Don't talk to him like that.
In the middle.
now let's go ahead and get into our matchup. Talk about Sentinels. Look, folks, they've been running the new stuff since kickoff, but we thought that going into this G2 matchup, Mimi, that we were going to see a fireworks show, and there were
Did
some
we?
exciting moments for sure.
Wait, did we though?
I think
Who
so.
thought that? I thought G2 was gonna.
It was an upper bracket final.
I think a lot of people were high up on Sen or just expecting them
I
to
think a lot of
slowly
people
get
were
better.
hoping.
Mimi, it was an
Yeah.
upper bracket final.
And G2 is the best team in the world.
I mean, I'm not disputing that, but I'm just saying the sentence still stands. People were expecting a good matchup. Turns out G2 dominated.
Yeah.
That's the convo.
We had the question, right, wondering if there was going to be still that tier gap and whether Sen were going to turn up. I mean, I also thought G2 were going to be winning
Yeah.
that matchup. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that fact at all.
Yeah.
And they did. They ended up just showcasing, I think, that there is that kind of tier gap above them and, honestly, the rest of Americas right now. No one's been able to really hold a candle to them.
What do you think it is? Why is that?
I think it's the fact, first off, they kept 4 out of 5 of their players, so they had a ton of time to practice. Second off, we were talking to Valen yesterday, and he was really bigging up how important bringing John to the team has been and how much he's helped the culture. They just look a step ahead. Compared to Sen, who's trying to do a lot of new stuff, right? In my mind, they've been the team who's innovating the most, right? Alongside G2. Playing Breach, Teo, Vice, Yoru, pretty much every map. And they're trying to do all of these really complicated strategies, but I think in trying to have the perfect util, set up the perfect combination, you so often see these little mistakes get made, the fundamentals slip, and they lose out rounds to a team like G2, whose fundamentals have just looked sublime, bro.
Yeah, that's the trouble when you're trying to push the meta as well, is that you kind of have to rebuild everything from the ground up, all of that protocols and strategies. And I know that Josh has got something to say about this as well. The man is, I can see him, his face is going red like a tomato.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not a mean person. We
He's
just
holding
left him
back.
over there because it
We
was
left
better
him
for the
over there.
segment. Josh, you have a telestrator to break things down. What you got, buddy?
I do, I definitely do. So I want to talk about some of the errors that Sentinels have been making, because I think it's a really important point. They're trying to do a lot, they're playing well, but they are also making quite a lot of mistakes. So let's get into this to begin with. So this is one of the examples. They're down 6-1, and what we're going to see is a retake setup. Jorgamo is in position right now, gets flashed by Zelsis. Great flash. They get caught by this, a flash recon combo. But then as we slow things down, I want to put this forward in slow motion here so you can see the second flash that Zelsis sends out. So as they get geared up, let me just run you through roughly what's going to happen. So you've got a drone that comes up over the top. Narrate is going to jump up on this box and try to TP across down here. They're going to send a flash high in the air and swing around this corner. That's the game plan, at least. But if you look at how it actually plays out in reality, I'll play it forwards for you in slow motion. There goes the flash up high in the air, and not only does it catch onto Jonah P, but it also blinds all 4 members of the SEN players that are on the retake here. Narrate, he can't even go for this teleport. Zelsis gets caught. These 2 players trying to trade are just in a horrible spot, and this ends up being a bit of a disaster for them. They're not able to set up into their play, and I could have pulled a bunch of examples like this from their game against Loud too. Let's have a look at another clip here though. This one's more of a macro mistake. So if you take a look at what's happening here, we've got Jorgamo fighting for A main control on defense. Sen have got to clear him out, and they use a drone. Jorg can't stay in this position because if he gets hit by that drone, he gets suppressed and gets caught. But Jorg is going to do something wonderful here. He gets the Yoru ultimate out and puts himself back in the exact same spot over towards A main. And if you take a look at the mini-map in this situation, look, he's now got behind them, behind this box, and this causes Sentinels to have a discussion about what they want to do, because they can either go backwards and try to clear him out, but then these players are stuck in art, or they can choose, as they do, to go forwards and try to fight for some level of control towards the back of site here. The problem with it is they're not coordinated with it. They make the call to surge forwards and try to take the fight. They even throw in a fade ultimate to try to take a little bit of Flowers control. But if you take a look at the mini-map at this point of time, you can see why it goes wrong. Zelsis is over here watching the flank. Bang is watching backwards. John's trying to plant for A main control even though they don't have A main. And it's only Narrate who's actually got the gumption to go forwards and is on the path of what his team needs to be doing in a macro sense. So they're not aligned here and it all falls to pot for them all over the place. And again, this isn't just because G2 are amazing. This is also because the execution is not great from Sen overall. Now, here's a third clip, my final example, and I want to show again an individual error. This is Zelsis holding an off angle over here, trying to lock down double doors. He's got the Thorns in a position where they trickle down and spill onto people who are trying to come in, and a flash to be able to play off. And so if we watch this out, I'm still going to keep it on minimap actually, because we're not watching Zelsis POV. But as they try to take space towards him, he tucks himself in, and from Zelsis's POV here, as we swap to it, you can see that he's not tucked behind this pillar to activate his Thorns. He's actually out in the open, gets caught by Jorgamo. It's great timing from G2, but Zelsis is getting overwhelmed in some of these spots, and Bang also gets overwhelmed here. This is later on in the same round. There's a smoke for Bang to try to play off. He gets recon darted in backside, tries to do a pullback smoke over here so that he's able to escape, gets hit by a stun. But what he doesn't realize, I think, is that John is about to bail him out anyway with this Armageddon. So either the comms are going wrong in this spot, or Bang and John have not talked about what the protocol is going to be. Bang also doesn't throw this smoke, which a lot of people are trying to use in order to get out safely. And so instead, Valin finds the timing, runs through the Armageddon, they get the spray down on him, and Bang just ends up looking isolated in these spots. There are gaps in what Sen are doing, even though they're trying to play new meta stuff and trying to play it really well. And I think these are the kind of gaps that MIBR should be looking to highlight and that Sen need to tighten up. One of the players that we talked about here was Narrate, and he's had tons of his ups and downs so far in Americas. I had the joy of watching him last year on Karmic Core when he was frying. And Sentinels put out a really beautiful piece of content after the game against Loud when Narrate had even had a win, and yet was very emotional, revealing some of his struggles behind the scenes. So let's take a listen.
Big time. First series, you're gonna have bumpy games. It's hard. The team's playing messy, and you're role swapping, and you have to navigate the team playing messy. You know, obviously you're part of it, but it's not easy. It just feels so different for no reason. It's all right. We made it out alive. We'll figure it out. We got plenty of time. And it's gonna happen sometimes. You know, you're gonna have to lean on people sometimes. I know you don't want to, but you're gonna have to. So it's all right. You're fucking incredible. The whole team thinks so. I know so. We'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, you were incredible already on this stage 2 weeks ago. You already know you can do it.
Like I don't think I won a single normal gunfight duel. Like not one. And I got so many. I won 0.
Yeah,
not even one. I couldn't do it. Like I don't know why.
You were frying on Lotus actually. You might not have felt like it. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. I don't even know what your final stats were.
I literally think I was just getting kills that just were there. Like I had one round where they all just beat me one by one, and like I just killed them all. Like
yeah, we needed that though.
Like yeah, I know, but it was like just the most advantageous possible. Like I literally had a Zodia to get a kill.
There was a few. Luke will vouch. There was a few times I said, "Oh, we needed that kill. That you got us." Like there were certain spots where it might just feel like one kill or feel scrappy, but the fact that you win the duel, like kills. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. New comps, new team, new stage, new agents, and I mean, it's
Never played this bad in my life.
It's going to be hard for anyone to play well individually when we're not showing up collectively either. You know, it's a team problem.
Yeah.
It's chicken and egg. Like, who started it, domino effect, doesn't matter. It's going to be hard for you to feel comfortable playing well when we're a mess.
Do we want to go back to the room?
Yeah, we can.
Few things there that I want to cover real fast. Firstly, I think it's a really awesome thing, you know, to see Narrate care, to see Narrate. That is exactly what you want out of a winner. That is what you want out of a person that wants to put their best foot forward, is an individual who wears that emotion on their sleeve like that. But also I want to give a credit to Coach Kaplan, because, you know, something that a lot of people don't realize in esports, but you probably should, is that we manage, you know, a lot of younger people, right?
Yeah,
younger
definitely.
talent, whether it's players, talent, coaching, whoever the case may be. There's a lot of young players here, and a lot of young players haven't really had that opportunity to, like, feel that pain yet, feel that heartbreak. So I think it's a good thing.
By the way, that wasn't
handled it
even
well.
necessarily heartbreak. That was coming off the back of a victory against Loud. He just felt that he'd individually underperformed, and he's been tasked with changing his role around a ton. He's a duelist player who went to Karmine Corp to play mostly like Fade for them, and is now coming back and I think was originally supposed to play Senti for this team, and the roles have been all over the place.
Yeah, he's changed it again. And if you think of the context of it all, he's what, 2021? He's already moved across an ocean to Berlin, played a year with KC. Now he's back in North America, playing Tier 1 here for the first time, with the roster that has the highest expectations. When you're putting on a Sentinels jersey, you're in this position where all of the fans are bearing down on you, where there are huge expectations. I mean, he's coming into a team where legends left, Saucy and Tens, and has all of that pressure on him. And I think you can see how important a guy like Coach Kaplan is to have that support structure behind the scenes to alleviate some of that pressure and let him be the best player he can be.
Hey, you know, and it's as they say, right? Pressures do make diamonds. And if there's one thing I do know is that from what we've gathered from Narrate so far is that this guy can perform in those moments. We've seen it plenty of times already, whether it was last year or even this year as well. And even though things didn't particularly go his way there, Bren, you know, realistically, I mean, he stepped it up big time when he switched over to that Fade.
Yeah, and I think that's important as well, is that we see signs of that as well after everything we've spoken about, because on paper, when SEN made these changes, I would say that mechanically they made upgrades in some way or form. I mean, it's hard to replace Tens in some fashion, but they did a good job doing it. But one thing that I thought that they were going to be missing was that kind of that maturity aspect, and not maturity as in like, oh, these are young players, but Tens and Sassy brought so much experience to that roster that in moments like that, they would be able to, and on top of that, they'd be able to be an addition to Kaplan along the side. And I think that is one of the things that they're going to be missing this year early on. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, there's no denying that. We've seen it. But the more experience they get being put into those spots and realizing it's not the end of the world and that they can pick themselves back up, and they are incredible players, the better they're going to be looking over the course of the season. And I think that it's a good sign that they're able to flip it around in the series itself as well.
I do think it's about accessing that potential, though, as well. We saw Narrate at the beginning of last year in 2024 look like one of the best players in the world. And that was while he was playing Fade. You've now got him playing Omen on some maps, Breach on some maps, Fade on other maps as well. And originally in the offseason, they had him playing like Cypher and that kind of stuff too. So finding the best out of him is going to be actually a pretty big task. And thus far, I don't think we've seen it. I saw much better from Narrate last year, and he's a player that has more to give. So SEN have actually got a task now to extract that potential and show it in matches, rather than, at the moment, you can tell from all of this behind-the-scenes talk, they're trying to figure out how to get that like kind of refined, good, non-sloppy look that they had that caused them to win Madrid.
Yeah, that is a tough one for sure. But if there's one person that could definitely help navigate that, I do have faith in Coach Kaplan. I think he has, you know, the candor to be able to deal with that, honestly, the ability to be able to deal with that. But of course, let's actually go ahead and check in with Narrate once again and hear actually what he had to say when he had an opportunity to catch up with Riv.
I am with Narrate before their match today. I got to ask you, you know, in EMEA, you had LeBlue cheering you on, not a small community at all. Now you have Sen City pumping you up from game to game. Is that any added pressure, or is it just vibes?
Honestly, it's just vibes. I wouldn't say, you know, the difference between KC and Sen is that big. KC fans are absolutely insane, and Sen fans are, you know, the same. They're pretty crazy and awesome. I wouldn't say there's any added pressure, and yeah, it's just vibes.
All right, great luck in the match today.
Well, you're certainly going to need to rely on those vibes. But on the other side, though, you also have, well, some players that are quite formidable. Well, let's talk about Aspas. Maybe the person he's going to be going up against is Zekin on the Sentinel side as well, because this is going to be a difficult one. And if Zekin, this young man, wants to take down a player like Aspas, he's going to have to just not miss because Aspas has been on fire, Mimi.
The difference between these two players in 2025, I think, really highlights the difference between their two teams. Sentinels is playing all new meta. They have Zekin on the Yoru all the time. They're implementing him into all these different set plays and asking a lot of him, which for the most part he's delivered. But on the other hand, Aspas is getting to play his same old Jet, his same old Raze. They're playing slow, basic ideas, but executing on it really well and giving him the opportunities to take over games like the superstar he's always been. And that's exactly what happened in this series against Crew. Without Aspas's insane performance, map 2, map 3, there's no way they win that series.
Yeah, I think Zekin has definitely got it in him as well to hold a candle to Aspas, though, despite everything we've seen. I mean, Aspas has literally broken his own kill records in the matches. Like, this guy is a phenomenal talent.
The best BO3 anyone's ever had in terms of kills.
And he broke the previous record, which was held by him.
Insane.
So he's literally, like, he is one of the best players we've ever seen, there's no doubt, in terms of the mechanical ability. But so is Zekin, I think, as well. I mean, he's a cerebral player, and you can see that in the way that, like you mentioned, they're trying to fit him into the structure, and he's playing different roles, and he's playing the Yoru. They're trying to think a bit more macroly, whereas for Aspas, it feels more comfort-focused.
I also think the big difference, too, is that MIBR might be able to win by Aspas having a god game. Sentinels, their win condition is playing better as a team together. I think trying to put the focus on Zekin's got to carry would be the wrong focus for Sentinels.
Yeah, because that's not like what their plan has been presented
and also,
as.
if you're trying to fight fire with fire, you're going into that at MIBR. I think they're the best team at just loading it all into a superstar.
Fire, and you're walking into an inferno.
Yeah, literally.
Because Aspas is absolutely wild. I mean, there you can see it right there. Broke his own kill record, because that's a normal thing that people do.
He does it all the time.
Wild. All right, well, look, folks, this new MIBR is awesome, and we got a sneak peek behind their process when I had a moment to catch up with Fraud in our match point. Let's actually take a look.
Yeah, for me, it was a kind of surprise because Fred just came to me and said, "Hey, you're going to be the IGL." I mean,
was there a reason why you went to him specifically?
Yeah, it's because like me and Fred, we worked together for a long time, so I already know how he thinks the game, and I got taught by him. So yeah, it's more easier to me to understand what is he saying, what he wants to do. Yeah,
very well.
So that's one of the, I think the principal answer for that, you know?
Yeah, the reason why is because you guys have just such good chemistry. And it was really cool to hear that. Of course, you know, Artson coming into the team as the new IGL, so he's stepping into that role. But I mean, Brent, what we were getting there was that there's this clear trust that is built between Artson and Fraud, which is really cool.
A great word to use with this team, trust, because I think the entire roster has been built with that, honestly. Aspas coming in, he gets to play with Nozra again, almost handpicking it, building it with Fraud, and Artson taking over this IGL mantle. It's really elevated this team, despite the fact that they're playing these ancient comps. They've had to go through the old passages and annals of time
pull up
to go find it.
Yeah.
They have looked good at it. I think that this team has excelled at it, and it's the little tweaks they make, the little anti-strats that I really enjoy watching this team so far with their lower bracket run.
What's so interesting is I don't think they came into kickoff with that idea, though. Nozra started IGLing. They were trying out the Teo. They were trying to play a little bit of the new school stuff on their Lotus, but then they go down to the lower bracket. They change their IGL, and to me, they're now playing the most classic Fraud team kind of Valorant. And I'm not saying FR AUD. I'm talking about their coach, who is very much known for that honest, classic Valorant that is just playing the fundamentals, playing these slow mid rounds, putting Aspas in winning positions, and playing comps that are very, very comfortable. They're all focused on the fundamentals, on the little things, and that's where we see Sentinels failing in a lot of these games right now.
Yeah, you know, funny enough, when we were talking with Fraud about that, he was mentioning how he does like to cook up some, you know, fun comps, do some, but he to much of what you guys are saying, recognized early on, I gotta hone in on the talent and on the skill and what they like and what they're comfortable with. And that's the reason why they find themselves in this position right now. But let's actually go ahead and send it over to Riv, who's standing by with the new IGL from MIBR. It's Artson.
I'm here with Artson before their match today, and a big few matches in the past few days that you have to go through. A week to prep for Crew, but now only a day for Sentinels. How does your approach change in such a short turnaround?
Yeah, I think the main part that we got focused on compared to Crew, not to Sentinels, is, guys, we just need to rest and we need to review some tactics. But rather than that, we just focus on yourselves, and that's it.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in the match today.
Now, of course, Artsen's going to be out there leading a couple of rookies in one of the most important games of their careers here, because this is an opportunity for them to be able to make it to Bangkok. But of course, you're talking about Shenum and Cortesia, who have been really impressive, Sideshow.
I think Cortesia actually had a bit of a rough opening to 2025, but this most recent game, it wasn't. I know everyone is going to be looking at Aspas because he dropped the kill record in a BO3, but I actually thought this was Cortesia finding his moment.
I found him to be quite impressive in that one.
Yeah, and prior to that, Shenum has been the other player that I've been looking at. So I think MIBR, if Aspas doesn't drop another kill record today, need to be getting the best out of both of these players. It's about activating them both at the same time rather than just having one look pretty good and then the other look pretty good.
And it's so refreshing because we've seen years of Valorant where Brazilian teams have gone back to the well of refreshing the same talent, the same players over and over again. And
you are a noted Pancada hater.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But these
He loves Brazil.
I love Brazil. And
You
these
never
two
said
guys are one of the reasons why I love Brazil, because they're fresh talent coming out of ranked. To my understanding, the lore is that Saucy kind of scouted these guys out from playing on the Brazilian rank servers and kind of pitched them to Aspas, and then he was like, wait, these guys are crazy. Went and pitched them to MIBR. They trialed them. They worked out on the team, and now they've kind of come into the fold as this new generation of Brazilian talent, playing with the best player that's ever come out of the region and probably the best player in the game.
I can't help but think about Aspas in like a black turtleneck showing up to a presentation to sell Cortesia and Shenum to Aspas. Let me tell you why you should invest in these players today.
It was a good choice.
It was a good choice. It worked out well for them. All right, now look, before we get into today's match, all right, we're going to have some fun. You like fun, right? I'm sure someone in the chat's going to say no.
Do I get
but
to
in any
have
case,
fun this time?
huh?
Do I get to have fun this time? You kicked me.
No, you're not. I'm kidding. We all get to have fun because it's time for a new game called Vincent Fan Cup.
That is horrific.
God in heaven.
Take away the Adobe license. What is that?
Where's the teeth gone?
I love your
Where are the
eyes.
teeth?
The eyes are the portal to the soul, and you don't have one. I
Oh
think.
my God. All right. Well, look, folks, here's how it works. All right. We're going to take a look at some sketches, hopefully not as horrific as that. And then these are submitted by our fans. And these are sketches of our VCT pros. And we got to guess who the player is. It's very easy. Super simple game, right?
Right, so I can't be disrespectful to the fans.
Okay, that's wait.
Murky, bro.
That's Judgment.
This is Jorg.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
This is Jorgy.
He's
Look, Bucky.
He's dressed like a dog.
Bucky. My
That's
goat.
cute.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mustache.
It's recognizable. Maybe good is the wrong word, but it's
No, I'd say
recognizable.
it's good.
Yeah, Good's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Josh,
there, buddy.
I've seen your drawings. That's one leaf, one singular leaf.
I thought
See
that
the
was an
beard?
avocado with a beard, which I thought it was me.
Is it GB?
No,
it's
it's
Leaf.
Leaf. No one cares
Leaf.
about me. It's Leaf.
He said I thought that was me in the bell rang.
No, it's Leaf. He was born with that beard.
Came out.
Benjamin Button? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's
It's
Aspas.
Aspas.
With his little dog plushie.
With the little doggy.
That's cute.
The doggy.
You know, good hair.
Yeah.
That's what I got drawn to immediately.
I'm amazed that these are recognizable.
Yeah.
They've been
I
great
thought
thus
you
far.
It really has been. You guys are really talented. We should have Sideshow do some drawings. Let's see another one.
We got another?
Sideshow would.
Oh, okay.
Premiere.
That is tough.
Well, it's someone
There's
in
facial
MIBR
hair.
with a beard.
Right.
Could it be fraud?
I'm gonna say Noswer.
It could be Cortesia's mustache.
Cortesia.
He
Oh, it
doesn't
could be
have
Cortesia.
a beard. He just
Is it
has a staff.
Aspas again?
It's probably Aspas.
I think it's fraud.
It's not
Fraud.
Aspas?
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Dude, this is...
It's Artsen. Artsen.
You are not an artist if you think that is Artsen.
Where?
What the hell?
You've just roasted a fan that put their time and effort and blood and sweat and tears into that.
Who's
What's
got
up
the
with the
dogs?
dogs?
Bro?
Yo,
What is this?
wait, and who wears a cross around their neck? We got to figure that one
Who
out.
is this?
They have a cool S.
Yo, shout out to the S, bro, from high school.
That's G2 Frodo, I think.
Who the hell?
I think it's Jonah P.
With hair like this?
No.
Who takes their shoes off?
Bang!
Bang?
Bang.
Is he delivering the ring to Mount Doom? Bang! Look at the feet!
Why do his feet look like that? Get it off the screen.
Oh man, my guy's got some socks.
Oh, wait, that's
Wait.
kind of nice.
Oh, it's so refreshing.
Oh, wait, that's so lovely.
And that's Nere, right?
I don't know.
He's the only. Is he the? Yeah, I think
the
it's
only
Nere.
blonde guy on the
But he's
team?
got
Is
the-
that
I think
what you were
so.
going
The
to say?
cypher
Yeah.
cap on.
Yeah,
I mean, narrate.
I think
Gotta
he
be
is
narrated.
narrate.
Narrate.
Nice. That's very well done. I'm sure the
things
next one will
have-
be good too.
That was done by Tofu. Very well done. You are actually talented. Crazy. Do we have another one or no? I guess we don't.
No?
That's crazy.
They were wonderful, though.
Oh, crap. Well, look at the time. We have 30 seconds left.
Is that hyperpigmentation? I fit it in.
And look at the predictions. Hey.
Oh!
Okay.
Snap.
Okay.
I went with MIBR.
The MIBR believers are smoking. Aspas had to drop a BO3 kill record to beat Crew. They're not getting past Sen unless he drops 1,000.
Well, regarding your previous statement, I can neither confirm nor deny. But as far as that goes, I have faith in MIBR. But in any case, so folks, this is it. It's Sentinels versus MIBR. It's a BO5, and Bangkok is on the line. VCT Americas Kickoff lower bracket final starts ahora.
That means right now.
Here's the C's, no one caught in it, and Jorgamo. It'd have to be him. Narrate, try as he might. Can't do it. SEN City fell further and further into dismay, but it's not over for that team, of course. They've got to go down to that lower bracket.
Playing Aspas, you know, I think he's, you know, one of the best players in the world. You want to play the best player in the world. You want to dethrone him. You want to like beat him. Even if he plays insane, it doesn't matter. If you win, you're gonna be smiling.
Acho que a gente pode estar de olho tipo na rate, não teve tá bom campeonato também. Teve jogador que tipo mesmo ele não performando, não se chegou a sair atrás. Ele é cara que costuma também puxar muita responsa dentro do jogo. Então a gente fica de olho também dele.
He has a golden opportunity to send this one.
We're one match away from qualifying to Bangkok, and obviously it's an insane match, and I want to win it.
Obviamente a expectativa é ganhar. A gente não jogou contra eles nunca, nem no treino. Então tipo a gente vai saber o que eles fizeram no campeonato só. Então nossa expectativa sabe também que é um jogo difícil, não tem jogo fácil, né? E torcer para a gente ganhar e conseguir classificar para Bangkok aqui e conseguir essa vaga para o Brasil.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for the kickoff lower bracket finals. Make some noise for our first team. It's your...
All right, Riv, not looking to do some work there. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm kidding, that was awesome. Here comes Sentinel's fan favorite squad, as we've already noted. One stop away from being able to punch their ticket to Masters Bangkok, but this is going to be their toughest challenge yet.
It's a chance to repeat history for them. Through the lower bracket, they made it to the finals, won kickoff, won Madrid last year. A chance to do the same here again, but a lot to clean up from that G2 game.
Yeah, there's no second chances at this point. This is do or die, and you're up against MIBR, and they're looking like they're going on the tear themselves, honestly. They've dissuaded Crew from that lower bracket. They've just pushed them out of the picture when they are normally the team we've been talking about going on a run. They've got a different challenge ahead of them here today.
If there's any squad that knows, though, that you can turn it around in a moment against a Masters winning form, it would be SEN.
Agora é a vez deles, que vão deixar tudo no servidor por uma vaga em Bangkok. Sangue, suor e lágrimas. Façam muito barulho para o MIBR!
MIBR, of course, being led by one of the, if not the greatest player of all time in Aspas, just broke his kill record. So, you know, he's looking at a little bit more to that column there, Mimi.
Last year, this team Aspas was the salvation for SEN in the lower bracket. They took down Crew, gave Sentinels their spot in the playoffs in Stage 2. Now it's Aspas' chance to turn that around on a new roster, take SEN out of this tournament, and guarantee himself another global event.
Yeah, it's been a hard path for this team, honestly, throughout the entire lower since they've been there. But it's going to get even harder than that at this point, because they're up against Sentinels with only essentially less than 12 hours to prepare for this game, right? I mean, they just come off the back of winning in their prior game, and it's a lot to look over. The map pool of Sentinels, I think, has got a lot of nuance to it, but the compositions they're playing, it's going to take a lot of digging deep and a lot of heroic moments, which we know they're not going to be lacking.
This means a lot for Aspas. He has not missed a global event since back in Madrid. Absolutely on a roll there, and here are our maps.
Yeah, we got Lotus at Abyss, and if necessary, we'll take a trip over to Bind here. I look at these maps, man, and I don't know. I still feel good about my MIBR pick.
I mean, I don't care necessarily about the maps we're going to see, but the quantity of them. There are 5 maps here, which means a different kill record for Aspas to potentially break.
Yeah.
That would be Kang that took it away, I think, from like Aspas and Valen before.
It was from Aspas and Demon 1.
Right. So Kang currently, I believe, is the leader at 111. That was in the Champs final. So if Aspas can push things crazy to some kind of 5-map bonanza today, which I think would already be a good performance for MIBR, that's the track.
I mean, that's
12.
That's a testament to the win condition for MIBR if you're talking about beating 111 kill record on one man.
Yeah.
Win con, 110 kills. Just do that and you'll win. Here goes your agents, and we're of course going to see that Vice played as well as the Viper.
Lotus?
This is a composition change. They were rocking the Breach Tail before. Now they're going to more of a control comp with the double smokes here.
And if I had to guess, this is to make Narrate more comfortable. The difference between what we saw from him on Breach and Omen versus his Fade was so palpable. And the comp is still good. There's nothing wrong with this composition, and you're playing against a team that's playing old meta stuff anyway. I mean, they're playing double duelist here on Lotus, so I think SEN can be comfortable here and Narrate can play better.
All right, well, let's go ahead and send this over to your casters. Riot Games Arena, let's make some noise as we get ready for our 2 casters fully licensed to cast this game. All 5 maps, by the way, if necessary. Here's Uber and Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm manifesting a 5-map banger here, Golden Boy, no doubt about it. Of course, for one of these teams, it's Masters Bangkok qualification. For the other, it's the end of the line here in Kickoff. Sentinels, their classic brand of heroism yesterday, fell flat against the regimented team player G2. Well, here's another hero team for you. MIBR are ready to throw down.
Aspas coming off of the best BO3 he's ever played statistically, plus 40-odd kills for the series, dropping 83 total, and interestingly enough, having the least deaths as well on his team. Vintage Aspas stat line, but truly him at his peak. Now this is fascinating, getting into this. Both teams switching up their comps after losing on Lotus prior.
It's time for your Samsung match start, folks. Load up fast with Samsung SSDs. Double controller here for Sen. MIBR double duelist here on Lotus. What a world.
Sen's comp is vintage, aside from bringing in the Vice. Those other 4 agents, though, the agents that dominated this map in 2024, really defined the meta here when Lotus was so prevalent in the pool. And coming back, it's a map that a lot of teams love to play.
For MIBR, this will be their 4th Lotus map of Kickoff, and they've lost all 3 previous appearances here.
And they've changed their comp every single time. They're leaning into the double duelist that has worked for them on Split.
Sen here, obviously, with a fair bit of tree presence. Fault line thrown out, Zekin unaffected. However, Bang was stunned up by it. It's going to be a poison orb, though. John throws it up, buys a little bit of space. And the retake will also set up the classic Viper look here on Lotus. MIBR inch forward towards his A side. Bang wants a shoulder pick. You might have seen something there. Paranoia comes out, but Aspas was on the other side of it. Bang no connects a headshot, make it 2. A beautiful opening here. And MIBR still trying to get into tree. Zekin slaps him back. Shenham's got no choice but to try and challenge this, but Zekin finds himself 2 as well. Zelsis gets the job done, and that is pretty clean as far as pistols go.
That is the challenge of hitting Bang's sight on display. It is his anchoring that stands out to me among all of the traits he has as a player as the top one. He has those areas on every map where he just feels like a brick wall. Can't get the trade knobs. We're sad for MIBR, and from that point, they can't get into tree either because of this wall from John QT. Like I said, bringing that Viper back, he was a must pick on this map. Last year has fallen out of the meta, but still finds value. We saw even G2 playing with it here.
For me, this is Sentinels going back to basics, Wyatt. Instead of these really util-heavy comps they kind of overheat on, focusing now on a very straightforward, tried-and-true approach to Lotus, and they're off to the right start. There's a Razorvine here. Aspas will be snarled up, and that dangerous for the start. Zelsis makes him see them. That's both duelists down in one fell swoop. Cortesi able to test out that wall, but MIBR undergunned, undermanned here, and running into the meat grinder. Shenham gets 1, but Zelsis exits after 3.
Everyone on Sen, actually, they did buy into guns, so it's dangerous to lose any weaponry at this point. They don't want to throw anything away needlessly, try and get as pure of a bonus round as they can. Great timing on the C's. Cortesi, he's isolated in this site. John QT, easy cleanup on the crouch Cypher.
Shenham with the Sheriff in hand is forced out. by the paint shell. And that's about as good a start as you could ask for Sen. 4 guns taken out of that second round as well.
As we progress forward in this half, I'm expecting MIBR to have a better game plan as far as playing around this Zelsis Vice setup over on A. This is 2 rounds back-to-back. We've seen him place the Arc Rose in this same spot that's just sort of upper left. It can hit players coming in towards the site, but also hit players in tree. Shout out to the Qbert Academy. And they have to be prepared for that, though. His Arc Rose is always in the same spot. He was doing it against Loud as well. They've got to be able to break that.
That same spot that he team flashed and
yeah, hopefully he doesn't team flash 3 players.
Yeah.
Fast fight in A to teleport over top. Artisan just got off.
MIBR, this is their gun round, and Artisan, when they go to double duelist, it's definitely the entry player, right? He really wants to get things started up, but Aspas has been the closer, the one there at the end of the round, the post plants, the clutch scenarios. 2 duelists, very different styles.
A beautiful entry from Aspas, which is going to shut down all of that Sentinel utility that Zelsis was hoping to use for delay. Shannon over on B just finds a timing, catches Bang, I believe, on the rotate there, and that's going to draw further attention from Sen, who at the disadvantage trying to go for this retake.
It's just never good to lose Zelsis so early in the round with all of this Vice util that could have been made use of. Zeka looking for a timing there, but Shannon is going to tuck into that box and look for a wrap late here through C.
Oh, this was really good delay. Zekan has a lot of ground to cover if he wants to get with his teammates here to actually get back into this C site. Time has dwindled massively.
Okay, that aftershock at least is going to force Nozwa back over towards the water itself, but Aspas is clean with it. Going to sit back down. Sentinels with only 2 players left to work with. So no money there on Bang. Need to have their wits about them now. I think they're going to give this one up. John's going to try and walk away, but they're going to be caught here over by Link. Aspas waiting for them to run into the line of sight. Sentinel's ready for it, but it doesn't seem to matter. Narrate got himself 2 though, and exits with a Phantom.
That's really impactful from there. It gets the mini upgrade, but the 2 kills puts the economy in a tough spot for MIBR moving into the next round. Pretty crazy A fight, but I like the pace that MIBR picked up over towards C to get in. That was a great decision from Aspas, finding that opening. Oh, how about that?
Happy 100th episode, folks.
And it's a nice little 100th episode anniversary, to be honest. Qualifying match for Bangkok. Sentinels in the mix against Aspas. Doesn't really get better than this.
Centenary of excellence here in Americas. Second comes forward. Aspas is ready to fight for it. Narrating Bang, they're on the scene. The TP up to rubble for Bang is seen through, and Shannon's able to pick him up. 3 to work with still for the attackers, but that Viper wall has stifled them for now.
In the meantime, yeah, Cortese, he wanted to do something more proactive towards B, but can't push through that wall. Razorvine as well. Spotted by the Prowler now, wants to take a duel, can't connect. Normally the headshot machine, but shut down by Zelsis, who's had a nice little start here, sitting at 5 for 2, and had a great game on Abyss yesterday, despite that loss.
Yeah, it was about 10 frags ahead of the closest player on that map at some points. Being relied upon for more than just the vibes. John here, of course, just shoulder peeking this line. There's no one here from stairs, though, because they're not really sure about where MIBR were going, and that's such a symptom of Lotus. Spread so thin out of the defenders.
These 2 MIBR players actually have significant utility for this 2 versus 2 as well. Narrate has his haunt, but they're going to have to deal with a fault line from Nozwa, a paranoia from Shannon. Those are valuable pieces to convert this.
They want the tree player for the crossfire here, but there is no one there for MIBR. Nozwa playing under the rope. Haunt cleared out. Now they have a bit of info. They don't know about the second player over towards Pit here. Nozwa fancies a bit of an engagement here. Aftershock forces Zelsis away. Time getting a little bit short now. Dark cover plumes, and Zelsis is there. Another one. And there is the Steel Garden. That's going to be tough for Shen. Here. Just the classic to go with. It's a big ask. Zelsis spots him out. And the Vice Ultimate gives them just the edge they need for a defuse.
Such patience from Shen, and it almost paid off. He was so close.
Good discipline, man.
Yeah, he really threw those last 2 players for a loop. They thought that if he was back there, he probably would have tried to swing before the Steel Garden actually ripped the gun out of his hands, the primary weapon, but not the case. I like these early A fights from MIBR. Sen, they could be in trouble there if they tried to fight 2 aggro, because that Jet Rays are going to explode out of the choke.
I want that kill record.
It's early days yet. You just need to increase that by a factor of 20. Narrate was complaining, felt like he wasn't getting impactful kills in previous games. That one on Aspas, stopping that momentum was crucial.
And actually, his two kills in the prior round, after the round had ended, have put MIBR on this weak bye on this C hit.
Great razor bite. That's dirty stuff. Zelsis chokes them out. A regular Poison Ivy performance out here.
He might break the record. We're on pace. He's looking sick right now.
After Nosua and Cortesia. And I don't know if there's much to say about this. Again, a Razorvine in a crucial location. Previously, it was in Tree that caught out 2 players. And one of the criticisms leveraged at Celsius. We'll get to that in just a second. Your iBuyPower race, folks. Unbelievable. Giving out a PC for the first ace of the week, and after that, $100 in Riot gift card, $100 in iBuyPower rewards for every ace. Follow at iBuyPower on socials. Use the hashtag #UnlockYourAce. Can we get back to this?
My God, two spray transfer headshots as well. That is nasty work. He deserves to stand up after that one.
And some criticism he was drawing was that he actually wasn't getting the most out of his util on Vice over the last couple of games, but now he's doing so much with so little.
Has had mixed results on this agent for sure, but what a goddamn start. Sentinels have taken that fast A control. MIBR, they've had no desire to go there on this round 6. Pressing up towards C. Do we dare hit Zelsis' sight again? This guy
was an anti-eco ace. It's still incredible. Oh, we do not get the sheer wall drawn out there. Artisan tried to shoulder jump for it. He had the right idea.
They were able to find a pick towards B when the rotate was being drawn, and they want to do that again with Cortesia and Aspas just inching forward. And Narrate spotted out, but gets around the corner. Elsewhere finds that opening, wants to get in, but traded out.
The hard deny there from Zekin. Aspas, though, is starting to inch forward a little bit on this B side, and now MIBR going to come in and join him. Narrate put in yet again a position where he has to shut down MIBR's ace player. Gets good damage, forces him back.
Look at Cortesia on the map. He is in the walls. Zekin has absolutely no idea. A bit of patience here would result in 2 kills in the transfer.
Young Carlton bangs hit him with a flank of the lifetime. And now we get ourselves a neural theft. Polite of the rest of SEN across the map. That C site covered with MIBR presence now.
Look at Neri. He still has to check behind because of Aspas' presence earlier in the round. All right, free spray kill, making it easy.
Shows himself with those traces. Narrate trying to see what he could get, and there it is. Aspas closes the account on round 6 after a dirty flank from Cortesia.
I need to see how Shannon was able to find that opening towards C as well. That is when things increased as far as the tempo from MIBR pressing into C. Cortesia's timing was crazy. The C anchors just expected that Narrate would have had the info on a push through, but he caught the timing while Aspas was still firing some bullets from main, keeping their attention drawn there. An aggressive, pivotal play from the rookie.
And that keeps this game within 2 rounds. Haven't seen this in a little bit. Narrate with the Odin this round, some early spray. We are taking it back to 2024.
Danger as he went for that jump spot, tried to get the haunt thrown down there. 56 HP. Sentinels have to contend with the rolling thunder from Noswar. An explosive ultimate that could seriously cause some disarray on this A site for the anchors. They are running into Bang.
Narrate can be punishing on some of these corners as well. Okay, Rolling Thunder comes in though. Sees from Narrate as he tries to get out, but Artisan was already so far forward and Bang wasn't in a position to cover him. Oh, nicely done. Bang TP's away, but Second gets caught in the blast, and now it's sent down to 3. Spike still hasn't got to the site quite yet as Bang just walks out of that smoke into Aspas' line of fire. But John and Zelsis, the mastermind and the vibes merchant combine. And Noswa has to get the heck out. Doesn't even have access to his rifle.
They know he's caught in the corner.
He's got his weapon back now. Flashpoint, but that's going to be unaffecting SEN. Another one, that's a pretty good one there. I'm going to double jump him though. And John lays it down for 3.
Great double swing. Zelsis just drawing the crosshair away and up with the jump. Nicely handled at the end. They bring that back in the 3 versus 4 after MIBR really decimated the anchors there. That was a cool little fake TP as well from Bang. I believe he just was able to stay in the site because of that and then find one trade out here.
So Zekin just
he just
into that.
Fake TP against the showstopper. It's bold as hell and it works out.
I love that.
Oh John. My God, I mean, it is transfer city for the SEN City.
I just aim bottle drop.
He's not wrong.
I mean, Celsius is averaging 2 kills a round right now. This is an MIBR timeout.
We've seen, what, like 3 spray transfer multi-kills from SEN players right now? And that goes back to, listen, Leaf said ahead of that game yesterday when G2 bested Sentinels that they have been a team defined by heroics in kickoff. Now, we are seeing some heroics so far, but as you touched on at the beginning of this map with the comp change, I do like that they're kind of going back to basics here, aside from keeping Vice, who's been a real standout agent in this meta, with this older traditional comp. When they were running the Taeho Breach here against Loud, there's so many moving parts in that composition, so much utility to optimize, that if it's not optimal, the fundamentals were going out the window at times for them.
Some of your parts.
Yeah, and Loud, who were just playing a more simplistic comp and game, were besting them with crossfires and scaling in that fundamental aspect.
And
right?
frankly, that's an MIBR thing, right? It's a classic fraud coaching style, really fundamental focused. And obviously, MIBR are a team that's pushing double duelist more than anybody else right now, leaning into that individual impact. But so far, they've been stifled, especially on that A side of the map.
And the 2 duelists, they are pretty unorthodox over on Lotus. You do not see this often here at all.
It's going to make that defense side interesting for MIBR.
Definitely. Cortesia was just containing over towards the A side, and after some early C presence, MIBR, they want to go for the pivot. And even still, it's just the noise from the cam that's not going to indicate to Sentinels that there is this massive presence here. And you can see that by virtue of the minimap, where there's a lot more emphasis still towards C.
Sudden tree presence, that Vice util over at C, like you mentioned. They'll look to clear it anyway. Some spray down takes Artisan pretty low. Narrate gets a ton of free value there, not that he knows yet. But he's going to be heard heading to upper A.
Artisan, yeah, he heard those footsteps. Does he dare press forward? Ospas, great entry, and Artisan, yeah, he's going into the back line.
Second already, Artisan catches him out. Both MIBR duelists getting serious value already this round, and frankly, there's not a whole lot for Narrate to do right now. The pivot here to B is fascinating, but that gets sniffed out here by Sen. Zelsis chomping the bit there for Link. Cortesia low after that exchange.
Spike is going to be planted 3 versus 5. Sentinels have a lot of cash. They can go for this.
Hang on. Artisan is still low. Narrate here trying to pressure here from upper. Some of that util going his way, but in the meantime, the rest of Sen need to get active. Zelsis shows his gun barrel, but Cortesia falls. There's Artisan though, beautifully done. Wraps up at 3K on the round, and MIBR ping off the A side. It's a messy B post plant.
And that is the most flexible player on MIBR plus IGL getting into the game individually. His raise has been nasty on this in this lower bracket run, rather. Ospas gets that entry, but it's him finding the timing and hearing those footsteps prior from Narrate going towards heaven that allows him to get a little bit further, advancing in stairs, catch off that rotate.
Just a little bit of information. The one sound cue does so much for Artisan.
But like I said, Sen, they had a good enough economy that they could go for that retake at a disadvantage, still buy up here in a round where they have tons of ultimates to convert. A necessary conversion here for Sentinels on this round 9 due to their economy now being in danger.
So Sen try and project strength on 2 fronts at the start of the round. The 3-player push up on A to rubble, and then there's Viper's pit at A to limit MIBR's options. They've got a lot of space. They'd have to re-clear now. They've given up the map.
Cortesia hasn't been pressing too far up on A, mostly containing until the rest of the team gets there to re-clear as a unit.
He is going now to check B main. Banky will be clear of all of this util, so it's really just a fake though. Does draw the showstopper out of Zekin. He's hoping for something for free, but no, it's headed over towards B. Zelsis with the stinger though is able to bring Aspas down. He has been electric so far this map. And now amidst the smokes, he will await his next victim. And what's the plan now for MIBR, Wyatt?
Yeah, they are running low on time. And Nightfall as well, coming out at a really optimal mid-round timing from Merrick. It's a lot of info. Satchel in, there's danger for John. He just needs to live, keep the pit up.
Yeah, Cortesia was able to find something at B, but very quickly MIBR will once again repelled, and I just don't think there's much to be done here. TP there by Bang, by the looks of things, got an inside baby door, expecting a pivot back to this B site in the dying seconds of the round, but it might just be MIBR setting up shop and huddling together for warmth.
Maybe a bit of an understated kill. That one from Zelsis onto Aspas, but that has massive impact on the round. With Aspas trying to get into heaven there and open up all the space on B, but instantly going down, the rest of the team, they didn't feel comfortable pushing past John's Viper wall, and at that point, SEN have wasted so much time off the clock. Yeah, right here, this moment is really
a short
important.
window, Wyatt.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Timing a little bit off with the dark cover there, so mistake from MIBR. Just 1 second makes all the difference in that situation. And then from there, where do MIBR pivot? They don't want to go into B. They have to deal with the pit over at C. That's a great Sentinels round.
Here. One of those shutout rounds on defense, but it needed the Viper's pit to work. Now, MIBR bought once more, with the exception of Cortesia.
And here we've got an opportunity for SEN to run away with the half. MIBR economy on the cusp of being broken. No ults really in play here, aside from perhaps Artzin if he can find, orb kills, something along those lines.
And Aspas has had to be the entry on a couple of occasions on this map already, and might be feeling the frustration. He was shut down by a Stinger in that previous round. And that's just a tap of the orb here. Not a full commitment by any stretch by MIBR to this A side of the map here. Cortesia poking around at C, has not found anything yet.
And this is something over at C that Loud were trying to exploit. You can see this wall is placed deeper from Zelsis. The smoke covers the cross, and that allows Cortesia to just push up completely unheard.
Zelsis, though, can activate the Razorvine reaction to Cortesia, excuse me, but he might be headed towards Waterfall. Zelsis is on this line. He'll see the barrel here. Adjustment. A clean job for Zelsis, who is on like his 17th frag of the game.
Cortesia getting that space, I imagine, called to the rest of the team who were feeling a lot of pressure towards A. Hey, I have space on C, rotate back. Well, 20 seconds left. Zelsis is alive with his setup. This round is as good as done.
There's the Razorvine that's going to snarl up Aspas. He's forced to just drag himself through it. Bloodied and battered. Zelsis is waiting with the shorty. This wall's about to come down, and so does the curtain on Nozwa. Shenum's able to trade back, but there's not enough time to really make much of this round at all. There's a snake bite here that will force Shenum back, and he has no time to complete it. That's impressive stuff from Sentinel's defense.
The vice play from Zelsis has been such a difference maker. Frankly, night and day to some of his previous performances. 18-5 is a disgusting stat line to put up.
Positively brolic out there.
This is 11 rounds in. So sick. And with this setup, I think he definitely learned from his mistakes when he was playing against Loud. He was getting killed in a situation like that, but plays a lot more passively. Is able to catch out that lurk. And now we're on this bad MIBR bot.
With Abyss lurking as the next map, excuse me. Lotus so important for Sentinels. And on this defense side, they've had so much success. Again, this is the fourth permutation for MIBR. The fourth comp that hasn't really worked out, at least on this half. Aspasin about to get busy. How about a dash across here now, trying to put some pressure on drop, and Zekin catches RC now, might have been Tree with a paint shell. Aspas has to do something unthinkable here with this Guardian, but it's going to be a lot to manage. John QT is there.
Cortesia on the flank, coming through heaven.
No one's watching for this at all. It's an easy kill on the right. The trigger discipline. Oh, it fails him.
No. And sometimes it's just the hardest to hit the shots on the players that don't even know you're there because they're not trying to move around in the way that you normally would in a fight. That is tragic for MIBR. A bad buy where they commit the showstopper to attempt to convert as they're just so down on their luck.
They invest so much in that round.
Man, that is...
They forced.
Nice!
Can still buy in the next round at least, but far from successful stuff here for MIBR. And no real big ultimates yet. I mean, the Rolling Thunder can be brought up before this half is over, but it's got to be now. They need that ult orb.
Blade Storm from Aspas, so they want to just play this fast. They have to try to get through the wall. Oh my lord!
Well, lobotomy's being handed out, hand over fist. No right though, but again, coming with the shutdown. These have been impactful kills for the youngster.
Again, Cortesia on these lurks. He's also feeling the pressure of the Omen TP, but he reads it. Not sure if he heard that or not, but regardless, great punish.
I mean, he's been extra sensory this game. Nozwa, 1 health. A little bit of that regen shield to work with Cortesia. We have a real deep thrust here from the two remaining MIBR players, but Zelsis is about to snip it out. Nozwa's in trouble. Oh, really? Okay. Maybe could have waited on that a little bit longer. Steel Garden now active, Noz with 1 health and only a classic to work. God, it doesn't get any worse than that, surely. This will be MIBR exiting the half in pretty desperate shape. Narrate's going to see this and gets the job done. That's 3 for him. And an incredible 9-3 half on defense here for Sentinels. Playing the traditional style on Lotus.
20 or 21 kills for Zelsis. Insane half from him. This is a map we're talking about as being a must-win for SEN when we're looking at the pool because it has been so dismal for the MIBR team. They've played it 3 times, have lost it 3 times with 3 different comps. They just can't figure out what to do here. This is SEN's easiest chance in this entire BO5 to get a map, right? Start off on the right foot here.
Demoralizing stuff yesterday in that difficult loss to G2. Sentinels now, though, get the perfect start here on Lotus, especially with Abyss lurking around the corner. That's what they want. We'll see you on the other side of this break, folks, for the second half of our first map of this best of 5.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone. And you'll get iPhone 16 on us. That's a value of up to $1,600, only on Verizon.
A 1 pistol turns into a hefty 6-round lead for Sentinels here on Lotus. A map that they've actually not played much at all during kickoff and lost it on that only occasion against a pretty frightening, loud team. They've really tightened this up. And they're on the right foot here in what could be a really long series.
Absolutely. This is the one map that is one-sided, on paper at least. When we get to Abyss, Pearl, I mean, I guess perhaps Abyss might be the only other one-sided map, it feels, if you want to read into Sentinel's loss yesterday against G2. Was that just G2 being in God mode or SEN not having a great grasp on the map? We'll have to see when we get there. But this is certainly where SEN are going to have the biggest advantage. They just need to close this out. Zelsa sitting at 20, had an ace, multiple 3Ks.
That's as bad, as good as it gets if you're asking for a confidence booster coming off a rough match yesterday. And MIBR playing on the defense side with this double duelist comp. So they do need to look for these trap plays and pop moments on the defense.
Ospus is trying to get a lot of space over towards C, where the aforementioned star of this map is just containing Sentinel on that lurk, while the rest of the squad move up towards Rebel, trying to play around John's wall, damage on to Noswer.
This, of course, is the John QT Viper. Something we saw a lot last year, at least this composition on this map, with the lurk wall over at A. Center playing around that here very well. They've all been able to get over towards Baby Door, and they might just flood onto the B site. Tempo is about to get ratcheted up, and Cortesia, the young gun, is going to be on standby. He pulls off the angle, though, and is happy to play for more of a retake, but Second wants to take some space and a chunk of his flesh.
I love this push through from Sen. This is so proactive.
There's no way you're looking for Second there. Aspas, okay. Come off second best in that exchange. Second actually falls. Some sharp shooting from Senum, though, keeps MIBR ahead of the curve here. Now, a double face from Upper. Bang's ready for the first, but not the second. Narrate tries to step up in his absence, and he too falls. Noswa has been sharp with it, and again, it is the man of the moment. Zelsis looking more like a raid boss this game. Opts to stand inside that. Knows he has a Razor Vine, and Noswa very, very low. Some spam would have accounted for him, but Shenom, stunning round from him. And Sentinels on that aggressive push through B are negated.
Shenom, the other VCT Americas rookie, really steps up there with that delayed fight over towards Halls, where Sen were getting active, pushing through as a unit. I really liked the decision to do that, but unfortunately there just ended up being too many angles for them to cover, and the late swing from Gen punished them hard. All right, MIBR, they're back in the game, at least just a bit. Can they convert a clean anti-eco? They need it desperately. SEN with all classics.
Don't mind this setup here for Aspas. Guardian over towards Mound. Sees everyone cross. In fact, they're throwing the counter smoke Sentinels to try and get past a one-way. It doesn't come. Aspas gets out unscathed somehow, but that snake bite's going to force him to get moving. John is able to face set him down. Aspas already falling. Hang about. Cortesia drawn into the action as a reservist. Is able to find two, but he's hit with the paranoia and has to fall back to the halls. This will give the site to Zen.
The HP for Sentinels pretty horrendous at this point. MIBR, you have to expect to close this out. It would take a miracle from Bang. The only player with a reasonable weapon has the Guardian. The nade should get one. That Zel's is down. The spike isn't down.
That stops the plant. Bang's going to have to try it again. Artesino's in a great wall back position. Bang out of nowhere, but going to be caught in the fault line here. Cortesia trying to draw a bead on him. Must be inside the smoke. John with the spam! Are you kidding me? That is not supposed to happen. They walk into the round with classics. Oh man, that is a backbreaker.
Stunning. And that feels like a nail delivered straight into the coffin. MIBR now down 10 rounds for SEN. Stunning one tap from Bang. The spam through from John onto Cortesia, who is one-shottable by a classic. Hits the headshot.
That is a direct one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm if I've ever seen it.
That's one of those situations where, honestly, when you're Aspas, you hate to have a Guardian when the swarm of players is on you.
Hero rifle for Aspas in a battle of heroes between SEN and MIBR. This time, opts for a bit more of a discreet approach to holding that C site. Well, that's that rifle gone, folks. Shannon keeping up on the site here. It looks like MIBR want to try and anchor amidst these dark covers. He recovers the Vandal. And he hears a lot of kerfuffle down on that lower level. There's second, pops himself up. Shannon ready for it, but oh, he's been baited in. Masterful stuff. Noswa has to try and salvage. He found two sharp shots. But Artesine will have to be the savior.
Trying to walk in. Bang is on the angle. Great first shot.
The Sheriffs are singing. Artesine with a second. Now it's getting real. John obviously in a pretty decent spot to cover the defuse. Made some sound there as well. Artesine can pick up a rifle and get going. Down to 61. John falls. Artesine salvages what looked like a terrible scenario for MIBR. And this truly is a game for individuals.
You can't be giving me back-to-back ecos straight away. You can't be doing that. And not in a clutch. Sick shots from Artesine.
Hold off the Sheriffs, man.
That was after Sentinels as well. I was about to compliment them on how excellently they played that situation in the site where they knew there could be an anchor playing around that dark cover that was placed. Shannon was doing that. He had the hero rifle. Patience. Someone called a pause. They waited for the dark cover to fade. Free kill. Then they scale into the site together. That was lovely. And it just collapses with Artesine isolating duels. Zels is trying to get like a pre-fire spray. Doesn't connect.
And it wasn't planted for Mound. I don't think SEN had the site control to plant it so far up onto that higher ground. So John couldn't just sit back and wait to hear the spike tap. He had to fight for it, and he was heavily disadvantaged. Signs of life here for MIBR. They've just come to few and far between, and despite winning the pistol, getting stopped in their tracks, now they've got a chance to build off that. But Sentinels, by and large, will still be able to bring some rifles into this round.
Yeah, that's the thing. Out of the timeout, Kaplan wants them to go for this. There are a lot of light armors, not the optimal buy for SEN.
Oh, I remember that game. It was a very long Lotus game.
Oh, yeah, the
Leviathan.
Many overtimes in that.
We were talking about that for weeks. The global map kill record, bro.
That was Aspas on Raze on this map, by the way.
Yep.
But with this formation of the MIBR team, it just makes more sense for him to be on Jet. Artesine play that Raze. Sentinels putting it on the line here.
Aspas wastes no time in getting onto this perch. A lot of that controller util expended early. Aspas spotted out. They now know he's dropped off of Rubble itself. He's going to be forced away by all of this util, but he stands his ground. Shenom is there up in the corner to Aspas's left, dishing it out.
God.
Lambs to the slaughter, Sen. Not one bleat is heard as the smoke clears.
Did you see all of that utility, the attention that Aspas was drawing with the rest of MIBR were able to position into the crossfires. SEN thought that they maybe had him isolated. They felt that they could get that kill, given they hit him with Prowler, Seize, etc. But Shenom is able to get into the corner. There are 4 MIBR players fighting here.
And what? SEN ended up just spraying out of that smoke. I mean, their attitude in that round definitely follows what the buy implied.
And what Kaplan planned for that round out of the timeout, we'll never know, because it was a 10-second round where MIBR crushed SEN's economy.
Aspas looked to make use of that counter one-way smoke that SEN through to get a little bit of extra ground, and he does. Now they've got this whole mound area covered. All right, Shenom taking a bit of damage through walls here, but that is banged down towards the B side.
Yeah, it's nice for Artson to play one of those sort of unorthodox, cheeky spots, like up top there. Just for the future, SEN are going to have to be worried about that angle. He's willing to go there. You know, even if he never plays from there again, they still have to be wary.
One way's about to expire. Aspas turns that Arc Rose flash and will be forced away. So a lot of map control bought there by SEN with that one bit of Viper util, but of course, MIBR starting to get teased over in that C direction, and this push up for Artazine guarantees they'll be able to see where SEN go either way. Artazine has to pull out of that. Big damage taken. 33 seconds.
MIBR, they just want to finish this in clean fashion. I like that Artson doesn't take the risk there. Just get out. This is an opportunity in the 5v3 for them to be able to get enough cash to get full buys for multiple rounds in a row, even if SEN get a couple converted.
Cortesia amongst his web of trips.
Oh, spotted out the barrel from Zelsis.
And Zelsis made some noise as well to confirm it. Aspas claims 3 in a pretty clean anti-eco for MIBR, the flawless round. But they desperately need to build these banks.
All of those kills from MIBR have gotten them close to some ultimates here. Artson, he was already sitting on the showstopper, but look at Nas were crucially 1 away from the Rolling Thunder. This round could get really explosive. There could certainly be some attempts from both teams to fight for orbs early.
One enemy remaining. Spike down.
MIBR, slowly but surely, winning 4 out of the last 5 rounds, are clambering back into this game.
And now, despite MIBR having a lot of cash, they're not opting to get an operator for Aspas. He wants to keep the rifle right now and press up off that one-way. Smoke Prowler spots him out. He knows Bang is in the corner.
Still no smoke made to thrown down to break his one way up. Okay. SEN just bully their way in, at least find a trade, and Aspas is out of the game for now. No presence over at A. No one sort of passively checking that either for Sentinel, so they're pretty committed to this. Trying to head over towards this C side, but it's a steel garden used by the attackers.
That is an ambitious TP from Shenom. He got into the corner. 2 seconds, spot him. Oh my god, he finds the trade.
Ends up being a trade. Nosma now has access to his rifle again, but Narrate's found his 3rd in the round, and Artazine not really in the vicinity to intervene. And that frenetic exchange now has hopes of slowing the plant down.
Oh my god.
Nightfall, though, is going to confirm his location. And that's going to be a tough one to bounce back from. SEN inch a little bit closer to map point.
Narrate stepping up, winning out those duels on the swing into the site. I love Shenom TPing into that corner. That was so aggro, and SEN did not expect it.
Talk about a confidence builder.
Yeah.
For Narrate especially. He's Aspas again. Wants to play into that one way.
This is the moment here, though. Denying MIBR the trades that they desired from backside. A Narrate who has had mixed results as of late. In that game against G2 the other day, had a really tough time playing the Omen, and then stepped it up on map 2. Just seems like when he gets onto that initiator role that he feels comfortable on, what he was playing a lot with KC over in EU last year, that's when he really finds his form. Fade especially, just, you can see the comfort he has.
Last time out here for MIBR. Probably the last chance to stop SEN on this map. And the buy that's come in is ambitious.
Yeah, out of this from MIBR, I do want to see if they're going to bring the operator in. They haven't had it yet, and that's definitely something that they can bring into the fold to cause some disarray for SEN. If they're not expecting it, maybe they just dry peek. Yeah, maybe they just dry peek a sightline and get punished for it.
I mean, Wyatt, the ultimates are also pretty ridiculous here for MIBR. Everything you could really ask for. And SEN are also on half armors here. They've been being taxed pretty heavily, even in these 1 rounds. They've not stabilized at all.
Yeah, that's a lot of regen shields that they've got on SEN. Decent bank building for them as well. Let's see what MIBR can do. They have the ults to win this round, and Aspas is posted up. Doesn't get that first opportunity.
What? That's the operator down. That's the investment for MIBR. Thrown down the gurgler. Gentlemen, trying to salvage, picking up the pieces. But even if he were to make a mosaic at this moment, it'll be a long walk back for MIBR.
It's tough to push forward in this situation. There's just way too many angles to clear. You have to be weary about one of those SEN players walking over at the steps. He knows it. He just wants to play a little bit more safe. Oh, does it miss him? No, it does connect.
One of the worst ways you could start a round for a team 4 rounds behind. SEN are threatening that match point and also crucially just building up that economic supremacy.
And it looks like Sentinels want to hit into BU, where there are a bunch of kill trips, but there's no one to get the kills off the trips.
Set up here for Link, for Shenham. Cortesio, of course, away from home, and he's down. The trip's all cleared now. There's a camera left in their wake. But MIBR are in no position to really fight for this. They're going to go for it. Double face this. Celsius finds 1, and how fitting! How fitting! A flawless round for Sandals here in round 19. After MIBR call a crucial timeout and a change of tack that also falls flat.
You're just not going to be beating Zelsis in 1v1 today.
Nice.
At least on this map. He is white hot.
24 and 11. Flawless round. More than just a statement. Okay. Sentinels here. Determined not to miss another international event. This is a great start for them now, but they do need to land the plane here on Lotus. 5 ults up for MIBR, but an awkward buy.
Blade Storm from Aspas to offset having this stinger. MIBR try to fight even more forward.
There's that Rolling Thunder now. I think it might be to catch second, but he got Arts in already. Aspas gets in there, at least makes it a trade, but the ultimate's being used for that. A large amount of them. SEN have seen enough. They're happy to pull off the A site here, but they don't have advanced positioning, and Cortesia is in a rat spot.
Shenham is trying to play off and trying to serve as a distraction.
Oh, there it is. Evilly twirls his moustache, but it's Narrate again that's able to salvage things for SEN. Such crucial frags for this guy. 17 and 9, and now MIBR have to send and deliver. Noswa, quick to the punch, and bang has gone down. Narrate has the spike, and an opportunity to clutch out this map.
If he can shut the door in their face and take us to Abyss, certainly righting the wrongs from yesterday. Narrate has turned around his form completely in 24 hours.
Plenty of time to walk over towards the A site and get this planted. Also, conveniently, that Haunt is back online.
30 seconds left.
It does have the C's as well, so a bit to play with in this situation.
Playing for Trina.
But for the opposition, MIBR, Nosward has that fault line recycled, ready to go.
So
Still has flashes. Aspas, Cloudburst, maybe could come in handy to cut an angle off.
The veteran duo of Aspas and Noswa for Narrate to deal with. Talk about cutting your teeth. How's the timing on this one? Noswa, oh, just a little jiggle. Narrate has to pull off that angle. 7 bullets left to work with this one. 3 for Narrate on the round. Aspas, the one and only, the deified, now has to save this for MIBR, but Narrate is quiet about it. Unreal! Narrate, he's a bloody main character!
Narrate said before the game that you want to play against the best in the world. That's Aspas. He wants to dethrone him. The duo of Nosward and him. The crucial duo to form this team in the 2 versus 1. Can't get the job done. SEN needed to convert this map. It was going to be and is their biggest advantage in terms of the pool in this best of 5. Necessary to convert, they get it done. Zelsis, star performance. Dropped, what, 24, 25 kills in the server. Ace, multiple 3Ks just in the first half alone. Had the C site on lockdown. That double duelist just could not get in.
It's a scary sign when You don't need Zekin to pop off in order to dominate in a map. Incredible stuff for Zelsis and Narrate, someone who now has had it proved to him that he belongs here. He deserves to be here. But still the question remains, which of these players deserves to stand in our grand final against G2?
We're headed to Abyss next, where SEN got dismantled by G2 yesterday. But my question is that just G2 being at an unreal level of excellence right now? Or was that Sentinel's own undoing? Can they bounce back?
Abyss Slingers on the other side of this break. Before we get there, though, we're going to check back in with GP and our analyst desk to talk map 1, and we'll see you real soon. Even up though in the post plant, Lee stepping forward on the side, getting ahead of the util. Oh, it's just too easy, baby.
That's what we're waiting on. Okay, safe, seen him. And he's been caught in this corner a couple of times with 10 HP. It's all he needs, Darker!
是吧？强体不也对，位置也对，一手也对，啥都对。来了，急把双线暴走，而且后点位全被罩出来了，可可还在死。
Off fault line, dash forward, but Town is famous, able to make anything happen. And Izu continues to build space. Quick little right click, and then they all line up. Flawless finish, 4K here.
Take a bow.
Red Bull gives you wings.